bringing you the news 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with a fresh approach. www.999wefm.com. WeFM News, online, on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliment of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Celebrating style, the Courts Furniture event. Get up to 30% off on furniture, appliances, and accessories store-wide. Plus, if you pay with Courts Ready Finance, you pay nothing down and there's no payment for 30 days. This offer is available in store and online at shopcourts.com. Conditions apply. Promotional period April 1st to 30th, 2023. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliment of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the business community here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been called on to support the Pan Art Form. This call came from President of the Yulu Pan Movement, Rodney Small, during a press conference hosted by the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, earlier this week. Mr. Small noted that over the years, Pan players have produced excellent academic performances, emphasizing the important role that the instrument plays in the lives of the youth. We hear more from the president of the Yulu Pan movement.
I am kindly asking the business community to support the steel pan art form. We need your support. The steel pan industry is filled with a lot of talented young people who see the pan yard as their home and a place where they can express themselves. But to run and manage a steel orchestra isn't cheap. Our pan players continue to excel in their academics over the years, and we are proud as a fraternity that we can now brag and boast about all our island scholars, cultural ambassadors, and so much more.
That was President of the Yulu Pan movement, Rodney Small. Mr. Small expressed gratitude to the Carnival Development Corporation for their continued support of the Yulu Pan movement. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has launched an investigation into the death of 18-year-old Jaquan Samuel. Jaquan reportedly went to the Peruvian Vale beach with relatives. He allegedly encountered difficulties at sea and was assisted by fishermen who brought him ashore unconscious. According to an official release from the RSVGPF, attempts were made to resuscitate him and he was taken to the Levi Latham Health Center in Mesopotamia, then transferred to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where he was subsequently pronounced dead. The circumstances surrounding the death of 18-year-old Jaquan Samuel of Peruvian Vale that occurred on Sunday, April 23, 2023, is currently being investigated by the police, the release states. A post-mortem examination of Samuel's body will be conducted to determine the specific cause of death. Still on the local scene, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, Ricardo Adams, says the organization has heard the concerns of organizers of rural carnival events with regards to recent limitations of venues. Mr. Adams said that they are currently in the process of clarifying which events can and can't be hosted at different venues, highlighting events such as beauty pageants, noting that they were more likely to be permitted, while events such as calypso shows might pose more of a problem. We hear more from the CDC's chairman.
We heard, and as it's popular to say, we feel the pain of the promoters and the rural carnivals, where the limitations on venues has come. We are in the process of getting some clarity in terms of what specifically are and are not allowed at what particular venues. Because we know a lot of the rurals have beauty pageants, and beauty pageants are not classified as fairs. That may be very straightforward. Where we can have some challenges is the determination of if there's a calypso show, what is that considered to be?
That was Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricardo Adams. Mr. Adams said that he noticed that some promoters have already gone ahead with making new accommodations for the events, following the news that venues such as the Annisville Sporting Complex will not be available this carnival season. On to news in the region. Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar said she is preparing a private bill to bring before Parliament proposing separate legislation for home invasions. Speaking at the United National Congress UNC Monday Night Forum, Persad-Bissessar urged supporters to speak out and make their voices heard. Persad-Bissessar proposed adopting stand your ground laws whereby victims of home invasions would be able to defend themselves using deadly force. I have been busy drafting a piece of law together with the help of some of our lawyers. We are drafting a private member's bill that I will take to Parliament on your behalf to fight the home invasions in our country. Stand your ground law increasing the penalties for home invasions, TNT's opposition leader said. The development comes after a spate of reports of home invasions as well as a recent symposium on crime in the region as a public health issue. The Association of Caribbean Media Workers ACM and IFEX ALC Network has strongly condemned the intimidation of journalists in Guyana. IFEX ALC is an alliance of IFEX members promoting and defending the right to freedom of expression in Latin America and the Caribbean. The regional and international organizations are calling on Guyana's government to immediately set the tone for a cessation of such acts that immediately serve to fertilize the ground for an escalation of such acts that can ultimately lead to physical harm. The ACM and IFEX ALC are also pleading with those in authority to urge their supporters to refrain from intimidatory behavior. Guyana is a signatory to the Media Freedom Coalition, which recognizes that a strong democratic tradition requires a free and fair media. Threats and harassment of journalists run counter to that principle, as it notes that with concern, the harassment directed to Kayata News reporter Davina Bhagat at a press conference hosted by Guyana's President Muhammad Irfan Ali. She has since been subjected to cyberbullying and personal attacks. On the international scene, South Africa is not planning to quit the International Criminal Court ICC as suggested earlier by President Cyril Ramaphosa, his office says, citing a communication error from his ruling ANC party. Hours earlier, Ramaphosa had said the African National Congress had decided to withdraw from South Africa from the court. Had decided to withdraw South Africa from the court, which last month issued an arrest warrant against Russian President Vladimir Putin. The ICC warrant means South Africa, due to host this year's BRICS summit of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, would have to detain Putin on arrival. According to Al Jazeera, the arrest warrant against Putin followed accusations that the Kremlin unlawfully deported Ukrainian children. On whether South Africa would arrest Putin, Ramaphosa said, that matter is under consideration, but ANC Secretary General Mikhail Mbalula earlier declared Putin can come anytime in this country. South Africa has close ties with Moscow, which date back decades to when the Kremlin supported the ANC's fight against apartheid. The continental war powerhouse has refused to condemn the invasion of Ukraine, which has largely isolated Russia on the international stage, saying it wants to stay neutral and prefers dialogue to end the war. Finally, in sports, Johnny Bairstow scored in 97 as he made his return from injury for Yorkshire in a second game against Nottinghamshire. Playing for the first time since breaking his leg in September, the England batter struck 13 fours and 2 sixes in his 88 balls at Headingley. He was dropped on 21 off England teammate Ollie Stone, but the fast bowler eventually had Bairstow caught. The 33-year-old is expected to play for Yorkshire's first next week as he attempts to regain his England place. England plays Ireland on June 1st before the men's Ashes series begins against Australia on June 16th. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Celebrating style, the Quartz Furniture event. Get up to 30% off on furniture, appliances, and accessories store-wide. Plus, if you pay with Quartz Ready Finance, you pay nothing down and there's no payment for 30 days. This offer is available in store and online at shopquartz.com. Conditions apply. Promotional period April 1st to 30th, 2023. Quartz, bringing value home.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthday,